Hi, Rod. It's Sean from SDK Markets here again. We've got Mike Hudson, the international man of exploration, with us today. Mike, we've pushed through $10 on Southern Cross today. You've had win after win or accomplishment after accomplishment this year. Mate, I'll hand it over to you. Shareholders like me just want to say thanks. It's life-changing for a lot of our investors. A lot of people put a lot of money in and made a lot of money from you. So wholeheartedly thanks, Mike. The company's just getting bigger, better, and you're doing a terrific job. Thank you.
Well, hopefully a whole lot of money to be made still, Sean, is the key point, I think, to make here. It's been a wonderful year, without a doubt, and thank you and your supporters for your support. Number one, we're sitting here with a tier one discovery in a tier one jurisdiction with a tier one bull market. Let's not forget that, and it's not necessarily topping as far as I can see in terms of gold. The world is just starting to wake up to the gold trade, and then we've got an amazing group of shareholders. It doesn't get much better, without a doubt, in terms of that mix. I'm very happy, I'm very humble, and very excited for what's going to happen next year, of course, because the project is racing and we've got a lot more to do. We're building a team to build this, and you've seen that now with some of our key appointments. The drilling is stacking up. We've got one of the largest drill programs, if not the largest, on a pre-development project in the world coming up. We got 10 rigs today, but we're going to 22 by mid next year. We've got a decline now permitted by the state. The Premier of the state announced critical minerals and the approval of that decline as one of her three pillars of her government. And this project just continues to get better and better within that overlay. The antimony piece is very real. It's only 20% of the in situ recoverable value. So it's an 80% gold project, but we're still one of the top three inventories of antimony in the Western world. And we've got a real opportunity to build that, rebuild the supply chain for the West, which is a very important part. So I'd like to say thank you. Thank you to you. Thank you to your supporters. Thank you to everybody around the company. This has got more than Mike Hudson cutting the first hole, putting the first core trays in the family wagon. Now we've got something like 50 plus people on staff and 25 permanent contractors that will double in the next year. So my team is great, and will only get better as we attract more amazing people.
Mike, it's as you've just said, everything is coming together. The team, we've met a lot of them. I know one of our guys who works with us, Boyd, was down on site yesterday. He didn't say much, just came back with a big smile on his face. He said the camaraderie, everyone's working together for it. It's just one of those years that are just transformative for the company. And you think it's gotten good this year, but as you said, next year, there's so much more to happen. There's so much more appreciation in the share price. With what this thing can make in terms of profit, I've seen you in other videos. I've had conversations with you at lunch. This is just going to be a cash cow when the mine's finally made that it's going to produce that.
You can say that. I can't say that in the public domain, Sean, but let's talk to what I can talk to, which is our exploration target is multi-million ounce, 10 gram dirt. And if you think about what that is worth on a per ton basis, and you look at some of the mine costs in Victoria per ton in our peers that are, sub $300 a ton to mine it, the margins on these high grade deposits in Victoria are amazing. And then when you get a scale of deposit that can then allow you to mine more tons per year, the opportunity is phenomenal. And that's why we've attracted some of the best shareholders in the world. We've got Pierre Lassonde, who wrote the investment guide literally to the gold market and founded Franco-Nevada, which is now a $70 billion royalty company, amongst many other projects and companies that he's put together. Darren Morecambe, who's one of the smartest minds in the world, is a very large shareholder and an amazing partner in the business. And then Kirill Sokolov, who rounds out that 30% holding between the three of them, who is an amazing mind in himself. So we've got an amazing group, and then we've got 25% institutions that, and then we've got all this index inclusion that is still ahead of us. We're in the ASX 300 now and a number of other indices. As this company continues to grow and de-risk this project, ideally there'll be more of those coming to the table when we start getting into some of the larger and better known indices globally.
I think you're close to the ASX 200, which is one of the biggest in Australia, which is what the benchmarks are all against. And I think you're starting to hit the requirements for that. But Mike, you've got the antimony piece, which you always said that would get you permitted. There could be some interesting stuff there happening next year. You're drilling deeper. You're expanding out further from the 1.5 Ks that you're currently, the footprint that you're on. You're right. There's so much more upside in this project than their exploration target where you're currently at. Fosterville, let's remember, you've got your numbers with what it cost to mine from that when we first started. That was your comparable, and it still is. But that found it deeper, and you've still not gotten into that swan zone yet. But you found so much gold above it. So he's hoping this thing gets 2 or 3 times bigger from where we're at now. Just in the footprint where we're at, you've still got 9.5, 10 Ks to go to explore. So you're right, this isn't the end. This is just the beginning, realistically.
Based on science, which is looking at that depth and how it gets better, we're just starting to approach that sweet spot in 4 out of 5 of the different parts of the system that we've been drilling. So arguably, on a scientific basis, we haven't even seen the best of what this deposit can deliver, despite it delivering some of the best, if not the best, continuous hits in the space globally. So it is something very special.
Michael, I've got to ask a question because there's the skeptic in me. Like, you guys put holes into the ground, and realistically, you keep finding gold all the time. Are you just really good at your job and your GOs are really good at pointing the drill bit where it is, or is it just that big underneath? Because all these announcements, 174 holes, the majority have hit gold, and you keep hitting it. It's not like you've run out of room. I noticed in the last announcement, one of the key phrases that I loved was a new exploration target. There's outside of the exploration target, which means it's bigger than what you've said back in January of this year. We all know it's gotten bigger, but it just keeps getting bigger.
We're focusing on volume expansion, we're focusing on grade, and we're focusing on de-risking it or making sure that what we're drilling is understood. And now we hit in pretty much every hole because we understand it. We understand that system, and it's continuous and predictable. And that is still very much holding up. It would be a disaster if it was the other way, right? The more drilling you put in and it wasn't holding together, then you'd have some head scratching. But it's not the case. So the team is very good. Let's say that the geological team is very good, led by Kenny Bush and a bunch of amazing geologists who've been in and around these deposits in Victoria. And now we're attracting people from outside of Victoria, also from around Australia. But it's behaving very well. Let's say that.
I love that. You're talking to your team and it is behaving well. But you took a really good hire, the COO, I believe he's called. He worked at Mandalay for 10, 15 years running the Costerfield mine. And that was always one of our idols when we first invested in the Southern Cross. We want to be like them. And wow, look at where we are now. But you're attracting that talent. He's operated the mine, constructed the mine. You're looking at what you can achieve, what you can do, and you're surrounding yourself with these people who have got a proven track record of execution, which is just fantastic.
Yeah, exactly, Sean. It's all every business we talk about, that you talk about, that everyone listening here who's in business knows it's all about the people. And we've got a great discovery, and that's clear. We've got a great market, that's clear. But without the right people to execute on a sensible strategy, which we know we've articulated, the 200-kilometre drill out, another $20 million regionally, not to forget that last 9 kilometres of the trend that we haven't touched, and the decline that will lead to a PEA in Q2 27. Without the people to execute on that, and subsequently, building the team to mine this, we are building the team to mine this, and now we've got our own COO who's done it down the road and is here to do it again. And he's just a very practical guy who gets things done amazingly well.
Well, you've got the location, 60 Ks from Melbourne. I remember the first time I went up with you, we were there in a heartbeat. You've got, as you said, a tier 1 asset. You are attracting the right people, and the professionalism of the team is just huge. I'm just watching the share now above $10. Like, what a day. I think that's a 50 bagger from the IPO, if I'm doing my maths right. There's not many of those out there. And as we said, there's still a lot more to come. So, Mike, really appreciate your time. I know you're flat out at the moment running this business, but thank you very much. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas.
We're not slowing down, Sean. There's geos outside of Christmas and New Year's Day, logging and cutting and assays going into the assay lab. So we're not slowing down over the holiday period. Thank you very much.